Hello everybody, welcome to Also Rusty Buckets. I have gotten addicted to the video game Days Gone. It's free on PlayStation Store and I highly recommend it. Not sponsored, just letting you know. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already and drop a like on this video, but with that out of the way, let's just get into the games. This is probably going to be a short one, although half of the time I say that it ends up not being the case. So games I watched today, there were only 4 to watch, so I watched 3 out of 4 of them. The game that I did not watch was Warriors versus Cavs. So first game of the day was Bucks versus Hawks, and this game was kind of box standard for the most part. I mean, it wasn't like you would look at the box score and it doesn't look as normal as you'd expect because Trae Young had a horrible game. Giannis really didn't shoot the ball much. He finished with 15 and he only played 24 minutes. This game was actually a little bit closer than you might think based on the final box score and the fact that the Bucks starters played were pretty lacking in minutes. So I wouldn't be shocked if Giannis was on a minutes restriction just because he's been injured for the past couple of games. So that's probably why he played so little. But this game, for the most part, was relatively normal. This Trae had a bad game, and I should say Solomon Hill in this one was knocking down threes. Every time I looked at the screen, Solomon Hill was hitting a three. He was 6 for 8 in this game. Lou Williams did not play well. Holy shit. Yeah, nothing that crazy. Also, Bogey, very good. And while Trae shot poorly, what did he finish at? 3 for 17. He did have a good playmaking game. He made one skip pass to Bogey on the elbow that was like, that pass was right on the money for a perfect shot. It was very impressive. But there wasn't too much to say about that game. So that's that one. Then we can talk about Lakers versus Celtics. This game was closer than you would expect, being that the Lakers have neither LeBron nor AD. And the reason for this on the Celtics side of things is that really no one outside of Jaylen Brown was having a particularly good game. Jaylen wasn't missing. He 17 for 20, hit on a half court. He hit a step back buzzer beater at the half. So that was big. Jason did not have a good game. Kemba did not have a good game. Kemba, he played okay, but he didn't shoot much. And also, I should say Tristan Thompson. He is filled in now for Robert Williams, who is out. I don't know the extent of Robert Williams is why he is out, but he is out. And Tristan did a pretty damn good job in this game, and he did this thing that's nice where he didn't do too much. He has a tendency to do too much, and that's part of the reason why he was dipping in the rotation, but he was good in this game, so good for Tristan Thompson. On the Lakers side of things, pretty much the same way that it has been for games where they have been competitive. It has been really a contribution from every party involved. Dennis Schroeder was in there with the pick and rolls. Montrezl Harrell, I don't know why I said the L in there. He had a relatively good game. The big guy, though, literally was Marc Gasol. Andre Drummond is injured, so he's not playing for the Lakers right now, and Marc Gasol got the start, and he hit, was it 6 threes? He was 4 for 6 from 3. Also, I want to talk about Talen Horton-Tucker for a bit because I felt for a little bit that Lakers fans have been overrating Talen, and, I still think to an extent they do. I think he can, fuck, the camera died. Ugh. As I was saying, Talen Horton-Tucker, I thought was overrated by Lakers fans. I thought he could be a pretty good scorer off of the bench, but the thing that I have noticed ever since he's been given more of a role in the absence of LeBron and AD is his playmaking has been much more of a thing. My biggest issue with Talen as a player thus far was the fact that he has kind of this black hole syndrome from time to time where it's just like, I got the ball, I got to score. And if he does throw a pass, it's just because he can't score. Not because that's the pass you need to make within the flow of the offense, but because, I picked up the dribble or I'm just in a bad position. And that was kind of how Talen Horton-Tucker was. But since he's been given more of a role in the absence of those guys, he has been much more of a playmaker. And I'm actually curious I'm looking up his stats right now because I want to see what his averages are assist-wise ever since he's gotten more minutes. And I'm going... when was the last game that LeBron played? I'm going to do a cut here because I'm not certain. Okay, since LeBron has been out, he's averaged 3 assists per game. But if I look at the box score stats here, he's had a 4 assist, a 6 assist, an 11 assist, and another 4 assist, another 4 assist, and then he had the game today where he had 7 assists off of the bench. So Horton has been playmaking more off of the bench, and that is definitely cool. Also, this is the first game that I watched with the Lakers with Ben McLemore, and what's interesting is that he was scoring without the three ball, which is how you typically expect it. In fact, he missed a couple of pretty damn good looks from three, including off of passes from Horton that could have been more assists. But yeah, that was the Lakers side of things. They put up a good performance, but the Celtics were just a much better team without them having their two best players. So that's that. Then if we can talk about Kings versus Suns, this was probably, at least in terms of closeness wise, the best game of the day. This one, I don't actually have too much to say. I'm debating titling this DeAndre Ayton is proving me wrong. But really, it's not that he's made the adjustments or that the Suns have made the adjustments that I want to see, but rather he's just simply making more shots now. I still think the underlying issue of not being aggressive enough at the basket, and the Suns just, which I think is a bigger issue, the Suns not involving him enough is still there. He's just been on a bit more of a tear lately in terms of just making the shots that he was getting, because while he finishes this game with 26 and he did shoot 91%, I still would like him to get more than 11 field goal attempts. But the Suns in general took care of business in this one. It really was not anything standout. Really nothing today was standout, although Javon Carter, good game from him. And we can talk about the Kings side of things. I'm probably going to title this video something like AaronFox remains incredibly underrated. That's nothing like some huge point of contention from this game. It wasn't a standout game for him. In fact, he's had a couple of 40-point games lately. So in comparison to the games he's been having lately, De'Aaron, this game is not that standout. 27 points, 8 assists, 11 for 21 from the field. Got to the line a little bit. I mean, he had a very good game, but like this is not out of the ordinary for De'Aaron. But it's actually precisely that it isn't out of the ordinary that I think makes De'Aaron one of the most underrated players in the NBA, because he's just so good. Now he is averaging 25 points and 7 assists, and if I could pull up the advanced, I imagine his true shooting percentage is not the best. So he's right around league average true shooting with 25 and 7. That's fucking awesome. And of course, the Kings are not the best. And also, they're not starting Tyrese Halliburton. Like, they're back to doing that bullshit in favor of Mo Harkless. What? Why would you start Mo Harkless over Tyrese? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So there's that. It really, like, God damn it. Walton is so bad at his job. I was about to say I'm glad I'm not a Kings fan, but then I remembered I'm a Bulls fan, which is really sad to say out loud. But De'Aaron Fox, very good in this game, getting to the basket, mid-range shots. He's a very good mid-range shooter at this point off of the pull-up. Very good playmaker. I just want to say shout out to De'Aaron Fox because he's good. But this game, just in general, not too much standout stuff. And really today, nothing that crazy. I guess I can talk about briefly Cavs versus Warriors. The one thing that maybe that was crazy today is that Steph went 4 for 13 from 3 after hitting 21 threes in back-to-back games. Not together. It's not 42 threes in total. You know what I mean. Still finished with 33 because Steph is Steph. But yeah, not really anything stand out there either. So today was pretty bog standard games across the board. No crazy performance. No like, oh, some broad point to make here. Just like some NBA games happened today. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go back to playing Days Gone for another 8 straight hours. Bye.